Hi! Grab yourself a shit drink, like mine, and sit down. Enjoy. Cheers. Do you want to see it? Can you see it? I know there was outrage about last week's video because I wasn't talking in it, but it's okay because I'm back. I'm here. Got a wine cooler. We're together and it's all good. Oh, I spilled some. So, when we were at Tao Guest House, we met two wonderful people, Anna from Germany and Barbara from Austria, and we ended up sort of spending quite a bit of time together, which was really lovely, and we were all in Luang Prabang together at the same time. So we decided to take a trip to Kuang Si Waterfall. It's one of the most popular things to do in Luang Prabang, so we thought we definitely got to check it out, and it was a really nice waterfall, so off we went. First things first job when you arrive at any waterfall, walk to the top, obviously. So we decided to hike up. The actual hike itself, you don't really see that much because a lot of it's covered by trees, but it didn't take us that long. And to be honest, even when you get to the top, like you can see some views like kind of past where the waterfall is. Like the view of the waterfall is definitely way back from the bottom. But when we got to the top, we saw that you could pay a guy, I think it was like a pound each or 50p each or something, and he would take you on his little bamboo boat sort of to where he said the beginning of the waterfall was. What we were really interested in though was actually seeing some wildlife whilst we were up there. He said a few days before he'd seen a few snakes and stuff, so it didn't cost us much to go on the boat ride. It was quite a nice little journey, like we were the only people doing it as well, and we were keeping an eye out for snakes. We didn't see any, so don't get excited, but you gotta try, haven't you? A bit more bum, yeah. Yeah. Look a little less scared. Or look more scared. After we went on the little bamboo boat ride, we just sort of had a little walk around, made our way back down, and just went for a swim. Which, after hiking up a waterfall in the heat, you'd think would be glorious until you get in the water and it's freezing. It's so cold. And so the way that you get in as well is you kind of, there's not really much space, and there's a big tree stump in the way, so you kind of trip over it a little bit. So you can't, it's not as easy to just sort of jump straight in, which is the ideal thing to do when it's freezing cold water. Yeah, so as you're sort of slowly making your way in with all the other people that are trying to get in as well, these fish start biting your feet. Not in a malicious way, don't worry, no hate to the fish, but they're just trying to eat the dead skin off your toes. But it hurts. So you're tackling with the cold, you've got these fish trying to eat you. Oh, sorry, I spilled more. I'll drink it so I'll stop spilling it now. So I had a bit of a swim around, I tried to warm up, wasn't working, couldn't stay still because of the fish, so I didn't spend too long in the water, so me and Anna were just sort of chilling by the side. Jim and Barbara were a bit braver than us too, and they ended up sort of going up by the waterfall and climbing up around it and stuff, and yeah, just sort of hanging out. It was a really nice afternoon, and it's a beautiful waterfall, so even if there's a bit of a crowd there, it is still definitely worth visiting. Ideally earlier during the day as well, because then you can get pictures with no one else in it, which is always a nice thing to do. I was in Luang Prabang about 3 years ago visiting my friend Becca while she was travelling there. When we were there last time, I remember one of the things that we did was checking out the night market, which sort of takes over one of the main streets. And also there was a market that had a buffet. Basically it was like just all vegetarian food, so great for me. And I just remember being really, really cheap, and the food was really, really good as well. So I'm a foodie. I go back to gym after 2-3 weeks away, and I'm like, all I tell him about is the food. So when we went to Luang Prabang, he was like, okay, I need to check out this market that you banged on about for the last 3 years. So we go, Not as good as it was 3 years ago, but it was still nice. I mean, it's still dirt cheap. You get so much food, lots of like rice and noodles and all these different types of veggies, and you basically just get given a bowl or a plate, and you can just pile up as much as you want for one set price. It's so cheap, and it's quite a cool little place too. I mean, it's, you know, it's a tiny little alleyway that's sort of been turned into a makeshift like restaurant in the evening, but it's something that I feel like is, you know, you've got to check it out when you come to Luang Prabang. Definitely if you're backpacking as well, because it's just so cheap. We sadly said goodbye to Anna as she sort of ventured off on her own to Myanmar, and we were staying in Laos. And me, Jim and Barbara went to Garavak Traditional Storytelling Theatre, or some order of those 4 words, and we knew it was traditional Laos stories that were told in English and accompanied by a traditional Lao flute. And ended up being such a fun experience. So the actual storytelling itself was really interesting, and we actually got talking after the show to the guy that was narrating the stories, and he told us that he teaches English to the Lao children like every afternoon. And basically, yeah, we arranged it, and the next afternoon we found ourselves sat in front of 3 massive groups of children with no clue on what to do and trying to teach them English. We had about an hour to figure out what to teach these children. We had no idea what they'd learnt before. We had no idea how much English they could actually speak. It was a very intimidating experience, just having all these faces staring at you. But it was a good challenge. It was really interesting to sort of throw yourself in at the deep end and be like, okay, I'm gonna hopefully give them a valuable hour of practicing their English with a native speaker. And it was really fun. Hopefully, I think I managed to teach them a few words, which is good. Whether they still remember them or not, who knows, but they seem to have fun in the end, so that's good. The best thing that we did has got to be knife making. Me and Jim like making things anyway. Add knives to that equation, you've got a perfect day out for me and Jim. We got picked up, taken to a really small town, to this guy's house, and it was such a great experience because it was me and Jim, a translator who was sort of explaining to us everything that was happening, the blacksmith and his son, and that was it. There was no one else there. Actually, there was other people there. Neighbours singing karaoke and drinking beer who were lovely. And it was just such a great experience. We got to make pretty much, I think about, I'd say like 90% of the blade ourselves in terms of what you have to do. So the blacksmith would sort of heat it up the metal, we flattened it, we helped shape it. He sort of got the knife shape, like the main shape of it. He did say that I could use the saw to like really get the shape of the knife, but I'll be honest, you've got a sharp knife near a sharp blade and it's small, like he was holding it like really close. I didn't want to lose a finger, he knew what he was doing, I was happy for him to take over that process. But it was just a really cool experience, and you know, to be able to make something that me and Jim, like, we love camping, so we have loads of like camping knives ourselves and stuff that we use, and to make something that we enjoy and something that generally we appreciate the craftsmanship of, so to be able to make it ourselves was a really nice experience. We actually, when we first arrived, he showed us these massive machetes as though we were going to make one of those. We were like, no, just a small knife. We come out with a knife that's still pretty sizable. But yeah, it was such a wonderful experience. Obviously we get to keep the knives at the end, which sounds good until I pull back Jim's curtain in a hostel room and he's sat there leaning near the wall and he's got his knife, like the handle on his arm and the blade poking against the wall, just because he wanted to sit with the knife that he had just made. So really glad we did it. That was good. It was a really fun experience. I'm glad we did. that's it. Thanks to all my many fans that requested, begged me, sent me gifts saying, please Carla, come back. I'm here just for you. Just joking. Dad, thanks for saying that you prefer the videos of me in it. I really appreciate it. Yeah, goodbye. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Make sure you drink it. It smells like soap.
It's like sweet soap.
Just it's a bit soapy. Corona. No joke, don't believe. Scare people.